5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello humans, Retro Rocket Man here. Hope you're all feeling well. This time round I'm going to have a go at the Spin Master Batmobile 2-in-1, so called because it has a pull-out bat plane or boat, some sort of hybrid anyway. It's got a lot of lovely detail. It's based on the Batmobile designed by Sean Murphy for the White Knight comic book. It looks a lot like a love child between the 1989 Tim Burton Batmobile and the Tumbler from Christopher Nolan's Batman series featuring Christian Bale. A lot of lovely detail, sculpted features which will look nice with a bit of extra weathering and a couple little paint details here and there. So let's see how we go. So I'm going to begin, as usual, using my trusty old black shoe polish. There's a lot of nice paint details already on this particular toy, so I don't want to lose those. I want to retain as much of that as possible. So my approach today is just to hit it with the shoe polish, get it into all the little nooks and crannies, and highlight and bring out all those lovely little sculptured features that you might otherwise miss from just flat grey plastic, and to also accentuate and weather the metallic looking features of the car. For example, in the engine's quite exposed. You can see all the pistons and the exhausts, which is a very strong feature of this car. So we want to bring those out, highlight them. And any of the other sculptured vents and little grills in the car can be all magnified by using the black shoe polish, getting it into those little crevices and lines in the panel work. So my general approach is just to subtly apply the shoe polish and see what it looks like, and apply more if I need to. You can put on as much as you like, it doesn't matter. And in this particular approach, I'm going to be brushing it on, and then I'm going to leave it, let it dry. And down the track, I'll subtly remove any excess with a wet scouring sponge. Just a soft scour, a non-scratching one. You don't want to scratch up any of the plastic. You just want to remove the excess shoe polish. Also making sure that any special features in the car will also stand out against the bodywork. Also in the what looks to be a face on the car, obviously resembling a bat. To me it looks a little bit more like a cat, but that's just my opinion. It's got some little panel lines in it, so I'm bringing those out and also weathering it as well. I don't want it to look too brand new. In this particular case, I'm going to be removing the excess with a rag. painting more detail just to highlight certain areas of the car so they look more interesting and less boring. This really brings out all the little details you might otherwise miss. Just a little bit of a silver paint detail on the hubs of the wheels, just to take away that plastic looking feel to them. As I said earlier, I'm just taking the excess shoe polish in certain areas away with a dampened scourer sponge, just to clean it up a little bit. Don't want it to be too dirty. This will help the areas that the shoe polish has left behind in to really pop. It also scuffs away some of the painted areas and gives them a weathered look as well. I'm not too sure whether these are supposed to be tail lights, but this is my interpretation anyway. So I'm just painting using some red gloss to highlight the taillights, and even just putting little accents of red here and there on the car just to draw your eye. It's amazing what these little dabs of colour can do to the final product, to the finish. You can do as little or as much as you like, but in my opinion it's all about a matter of taste, and it's entirely up to you. I'm using eyeshadow, metallic eyeshadow, just to give the champagne colour of the back face a bit more depth, a bit more interest. In any other areas where there's similar colours, I'll be doing the same thing. These all just give it just that little bit extra dimensionality. Pretty hard to pick up on the camera, but in real life it's subtle anyway, but it seems to make all the difference. So I'm just using a different colour eyeshadow. It's almost along the same lines as the original colour of the car, but it sort of mats it down a little bit. I've got various colours, tints of eyeshadow that I'm using on different panels, again just to highlight and break up the monotony of the car. And when you catch it in certain light, it does look very dramatic. Even though it's subtle, it has a big impact. I found that the eyeshadow rubs in best with your finger for some reason. It's the best way to apply it. It tends to stain the plastic, and it's a nice effect. Using the sandy colour eyeshadow for the tyres to highlight the tread pattern and show wear and tear as if it was being driven on quite rough road surfaces. As you'd expect, tyres would cop a lot of wear and tear. I'm just trying to emulate that look. This stuff will be sealed with a clear matte sealer, and what that does is protect the finish but it also does tend to dissolve a bit of the eyeshadow when you apply it, so it's not quite as dramatic when everything's said and done. But it leaves enough of it behind to make a difference. So there you go, humans. This is my take on the Spin Master 2-in-1 Batmobile from the White Knight series. It's a cool looking car, and I believe I've made it look even cooler. So this is Retro Rocket Man. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next one. Over and out.